Gary.
Good morning, Bobby. Bobby, I'm glad you pulled over. I have a few things on my list for you. But before we get to that, what's going on in the city?
Well, Mayor, right now with the good weather and no snow in the forecast, we're taking this opportunity to do a lot of cleanups. We have the street sweepers out in preparation of spring and summer work. As you can see down here, National Grid is finishing up a roadway project in preparation of our paving on Meridian Street, and we're just continuing to do a lot of good work in the city.
That sounds good. So, Bobby, anything else while you have me?
Actually, there's a couple on Beacon Street, Jeff and Carol, that have some concerns they'd like to speak to you about.
Well, you know me, open door policy. Have Kathleen book a meeting with me.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, we're going to cut on the count of three. Jack, I warn you, the mayor's very good at this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great job, guys. Great job. That was good work.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah,
can I book an appointment with you?
of course. You know me, open door policy.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Muffin like usual?
Bingo was his name. N45.
45.
Order for Mayor Christensen.
Thank you.
Mayor, there's somebody out here to see you today, but I'm really not sure about it. Are you sure you want to meet with him today?
I mean, you know me, Danny, open door policy.
All right.
I am not meeting with him, but there's one thing I will say.
From UMA, it's Malden Night Live!
It's Malden Night Live featuring the 2023 State of the City Address. With Kerlonzo Amos, Anderso Rose, Osa Schwab, featuring the Malden High School Band.
And me, Sharon Fillion.
And now, Mayor Gary Christensen.
Hello, Malden, and welcome to Malden Night Live. I am thrilled to be here at Urban Media Arts, otherwise known as UMA, to bring you the 2023 State of the City Address. We have a jam-packed show for you from what is known here as the UMAverse. And let me just say, whether it's through cable programming or podcasting, journalism, or online platforms, the message is clear. The state of our city is strong. What I won't be discussing is the weather. As you may have heard, I recently put our winter parking restrictions on hold, and that somehow has transcended into me declaring winter to be over. It has gotten so bad that some people now are referring to me as Puxatawny Mayor, and one person even told me that they have a burrow for me in their backyard. Fortunately, tonight's show covers more than just the winter. Where last year's State of the City Address focused on resiliency in the aftermath of the pandemic, 2023 will show that we are forging ahead with both impactful and transformative results in Malden's O2148.
Welcome to Malden 02148, and I'm your host, Ed Lucy.
And I'm your host, Joe Piantadosi.
And I'm your host, Mike Sharon. And tonight we're going to talk about the transformative impact of ARPA funding.
By now, the American Rescue Plan Act, known as ARPA, has become a household word. As we like to say, these one-time federal funds in the amount of $45.7 million presents an opportunity of a lifetime. Using a collaborative approach, we established 9 subcommittees, each with a Malden resident, department head, and city councilor, tasked with providing recommendations for the use of these funds. Even after 3 years, our residents continue to feel the impacts of a life-changing pandemic. We have invested over $1 million in public health services to hire additional nursing staff in the health department, secure a clinician to assist with a homelessness program, and most recently, to implement an outpatient mental health helpline through the William James College Interface Referral Service. We also used nearly $200,000 of these funds to build out a licensed student-based health center at Malden High School and over $400,000 to fund Malden Cares, a program that brings addiction and recovery resources directly to the community. Food insecurity and housing instability remain at the forefront of recovery efforts. We have provided funds to programs such as the YMCA, the Food Drive, and Food Link. In addition, nearly $4 million is being utilized to support housing projects and initiatives, including assisting the Asian Community Development Corporation to acquire and convert the former Salvation Army building into 100% affordable housing, establishing a Housing Stability Office with Housing Families, Inc. to help residents experiencing a housing crisis, implementing a Neighborhood Hub Vacant Property Program to rehab vacant properties and sell as affordable home ownership units, and supporting Bread of Life to complete their new facility, which will house a food pantry, dining room, and 14 units of affordable housing for formerly homeless individuals. We also invested in recreational opportunities to engage the community, reduce the risk of illness, and offset the impact of over a year of inactivity and social isolation. With the help of the Recreation Subcommittee, we have bolstered athletic programs, purchased fitness equipment, and launched a new bike share program. In addition, we are contributing $1 million to upgrades at Dever Park and $900,000 to Kierstead Park. We are also investing $176,000 to bring Fitness Court to Callahan Park, which, with the support of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts and the National Fitness Campaign, will allow us to deliver fitness workouts to people of all ages and ability levels. We have also jump-started our economic recovery by investing nearly $400,000 in our summer and winter festivals, which have brought activity back to the downtown while supporting local artists and performers. The business support team has also assisted Malden's underserved businesses by funding over $100,000 for first-time memberships in the Malden Chamber of Commerce, with a focus on minority-owned businesses. In addition, we have made major improvements to our city's infrastructure with $8 million in HVAC upgrades to improve air quality in our schools, $10 million in lead water line replacement and stormwater improvements, and $3.3 million on other water and sewer projects. We have also upgraded the city's fleet of vehicles, many of which are electric, with an investment of nearly $3 million. Lastly, we have invested $350,000 to make it easier for non-English speaking residents to access city services, $85,000 to boost upward mobility through our Career Services program, and we even offered every graduating senior in the class of 2022 a $1,000 scholarship. I am proud to announce today that we will offer this scholarship again to the upcoming 2023 graduates. We have seized this once-in-a-lifetime moment to make transformational investments in our community. This work would not have been possible without our resident volunteers who participated in the subcommittees, our city councilors, and our city staff. I also meet weekly with and am grateful for the assistance of Ron Hogan, Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer, Chuck Ranigan, Chief Financial Officer, and Stephanie Muccini-Burke, who is making sure the recommended spending meets program guidelines, complies with federal spending, and is appropriately documented. You can learn more about these investments through our Transparency Center, where we continue to lead the way in both engagement and accountability to our residents.
And now, from the high-tech studios of UMA Urban Media Arts, located in the heart of downtown Malden, it's time for a live on tape the television show. And now please welcome a man who refuses to say goodbye to summer, our host, Ron Clark. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. Tonight we'll be hearing about the impact of Malden's transliteration bill, the addition of body cameras in the police department, the heroic efforts of our firefighters, and an update on the opioid crisis.
2022 was a bittersweet year for the City Clerk's office, as we wished Clerk Greg Lucy a happy retirement after more than 20 years in public service. Prior to leaving, though, he led the charge to bring increased voter participation for Malden's Asian American residents. Clerk Lucy and I met regularly with community organizations and advocacy groups to work on a memorandum of understanding that outlines areas to improve voter accessibility, including the securing of additional bilingual staff, increased poll workers, and organizing a targeted outreach and distribution of bilingual materials. Most impactful this past year was the governor's signing of Malden's transliteration bill, which allows for the transliteration of candidates' names into Chinese on electoral ballots, making Malden the second city in the Commonwealth to achieve this. This newly enacted law enhances the overall readability of the bilingual ballot, which ensures full and meaningful voter access and participation. We have certainly made great strides, but there is more to be done. Although it was difficult to see Greg go, we are confident in his replacement's ability to carry the good work forward. Carol Ann Desiderio was sworn in as our new city clerk on January 5th. She came to City Hall in 2010, a decade of which was spent in the clerk's office preparing to fill this role. We are confident in her ability to lead the department into the future. In the area of public safety, the 2022 stats show a significant reduction in violent crime. According to an analysis of FBI crime data, our crime rate is noticeably lower than the average compared to other urban communities of a similar population. This is no accident. It is the result of the dedication and hard work of our officers. This June, we welcomed Glenn Cronin as the department's new police chief and promoted 3 officers as a result of Chief Kevin Mullis's retirement. The first order of business at the ceremony was to thank Kevin for his outstanding service not only as police chief, but throughout his entire 42-year career. The officers promoted along with Chief Cronin included Danny Katana to captain, Peter Mitchell to lieutenant, and Trent Headley to sergeant. Later in the year, Dan Bork was also promoted to sergeant. We also could not have been prouder of Malden High School graduate Walkie Joseph, who fulfilled his dream of not only serving his country in the armed forces, but now working as one of Malden's newest police officers. This year, we also began the first ever implementation of the department's body-worn camera program. In early 22, the city purchased Axon Body 3 cameras, and the department worked to develop policy, update technology infrastructure, and train department personnel. officers now record interactions with residents during dispatch calls for service, as well as during officer-initiated events such as traffic stops, field encounters, and during the service of court orders. We are proud to be the first agency in Middlesex County to implement an Axon body-worn camera program. In addition, based on the school incidents we have seen around the country, Chief Cronin took the lead to have an independent risk assessment done for the Malden Public Schools. We retain the services of Advanced Data Risk Management to assess all of our schools for physical security, risks, and compliance. Lastly, the department has been hard at work in their pursuit of becoming certified by the Massachusetts Police Accreditation Commission, which they expect to accomplish by November. This involves nearly 400 professional standards for police agencies to meet, which are considered best practices and govern every aspect of policing. The fire department continues to excel in providing exemplary fire and emergency services. Under Chief Bill Sullivan, in 2022 alone, the department responded to over 10,000 emergency calls and battled 5 significant 3-alarm fires, one of which sent 4 firefighters to the Mass General Hospital burn unit and displaced 9 people. During that fire, we saw firsthand the skills of department personnel as they put their lives on the line to extinguish the raging flames while also searching the entire building to ensure that all occupants had escaped safely. This past year, we also celebrated the promotions of several officers. Stephen O'Leary was promoted to the rank of Deputy Chief, Tom Walsh was promoted to Captain, and firefighter Michael Gelati was promoted to Lieutenant. Later in the year, Keith Buchanan was promoted to Deputy Chief, Bradford Bianchi was promoted to Captain, and Eric Savage and Derek Power were promoted to Lieutenant. A ceremony will be planned to celebrate these promotions, at which time we will also be welcoming 5 new firefighters to the department. Looking ahead, the fire station feasibility study is nearing completion thanks to the leadership of Chief Sullivan and City Councilor Barbara Murphy. The goals of the study include a response time analysis, assessments of conditions of our existing stations, a space needs analysis of the department, and projected needs for a future station. The study aims to be completed by springtime. The Health and Human Services Department, led by Chris Webb, continues to work on ways to expand services and carry out its mission of responding to the physical, social, and emotional needs of residents. The department collaborates with other agencies to support housing initiatives, establish a helpline for mental health resources, and support recreational opportunities. A particular focus is in the area of substance use disorder and recovery. Thanks to the efforts of addiction recovery resource specialist Paul Hammersley, Malden's overdoses dropped by roughly 30% and fatalities 50% compared to 2021. One program in particular that has had a positive impact is Malden Cares, which provides recovery coaches on the street who directly engage with residents while providing recovery resources as well as assistance with food insecurity and homelessness. Finally, educating our youth has been a goal of the department, and the plan in the coming months is to partner with Cambridge Health Alliance to bring recovery coaches to the student-based health center at Malden High School.
Pretty quiet winter here. No major snowstorms or blizzards, and for snow lovers, this has been tough, but it's still only February 9th. We're not totally out of the woods yet.
Less than 2 weeks ago, Malden's mayor declared winter is over.
Hello, April Fool's storm, remember that?
Yes. A lot of residents we spoke with were skeptical then.
However, the mayor of Malden is ready to move on to spring. He's even declared winter is over.
As WBZ's Mike Sullivan shows us, they had good reason to be.
Can't win them all.
My mic sounds nice. Check 1. I said my microphone sounds nice when it is on. Check 2. Welcome all you streamers back to another episode of Beyond the Rim. hashtag BTR. And I am your host, the Dudster, Nestor Dudley, along here coming at you now with the Malden School Superintendent, Lehia Noriega Murphy.
Thank you. Good evening. It is a pleasure to be here tonight, especially to talk about our wonderful students and our wonderful schools. We had very challenging time during pandemic, and we are glad we are moving forward. And during this time, we are changing the way that we approach education, the way that we are handling situations and working with students and our amazing staff. At this moment, I have to say that our schools, our students are thriving. They are doing the best that they can, and we are very successful, so very proud of them.
The year started off with our parents and students in mind as the Malden School Committee worked with our superintendent to completely streamline school registration for the many new families and students that were moving into Malden. The Parent Information Center was rebranded as the Welcome Center, and the online registration system was debuted, allowing families to navigate the process more smoothly. In the classroom, our educators and students worked through the COVID pandemic together, re-entering our school buildings with many precautions and carefully monitoring the progress we were making until we could safely return to a sense of normalcy. Meanwhile, spearheaded by a committee of parents, educators, leaders, and community members, the Malden Public Schools underwent a new curriculum adoption for the first time in many years. This curriculum is allowing us to strengthen how we teach literacy and math in our K-8 schools, better preparing our students for studies and life in high school and beyond. Our students continue to show resiliency and recovery in the wake of the pandemic, including in academics. MCAS results showed positive growth for our students, and we are beginning to see results that more closely align with pre-pandemic scores. In addition, this year, during the very first term, Malden High School saw more than 400 students make the honor roll. This is a record high number. Despite everything going on in the world around us, thanks in part to the dedication and commitment of our educators and families that nurture them, our students are indeed thriving. One of the best signs of our community coming back stronger than ever has been the resurgence of family and community events in our schools, with our PTOs leading the way. From the cultural celebration night at the Linden STEAM Academy and the food drive at the Ferryway, to BB's second grade field trip fundraiser and craft fair at the Forestdale, to Salem Woods International Food Festival and the end-of-year celebration at the Early Learning Center, smiles, laughter, and a whole lot of engagement has been present in each and every one of our buildings. Finally, this year we opened the doors of Malden's first student-based health center. This has been a long-standing goal of my administration and follows years of collaboration between the city, Cambridge Health Alliance, and the Tufts University Family Medicine Residency at CHA. The Teen Health Center at Malden High offers teen-centered primary care services during school hours for students ages 12 through 21. The aim is to further enhance the existing health program and work cooperatively within the school community to become an integral part of the setting.
Now moving on to one of my favorite topics, let's look at what's happening at the athletics department.
This past season, we were proud to congratulate Malden's co-ed varsity swim team for winning the Greater Boston League Championship for the 5th straight year. Even more impressive is that several of our swimmers performed in the States. We also congratulated Forestdale School's 7th grade student Corinne McNulty for her impressive win at the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association Girls State Wrestling Championships. This is the first time a 13-year-old Malden student has ever won the state wrestling championship at the high school level. And speaking of champions, Special Olympics International awarded Malden High School national banner status for the 2021-2022 school year. This means that our high school sports program, led by Athletic Director Charlie Conifrey, achieved national standards of excellence in the areas of inclusion, advocacy, and respect. Malden is one of only 12 schools in Massachusetts and among 164 schools nationwide to achieve this recognition. This is why it came as no surprise when, for the second consecutive year, Director Conifrey was selected as Athletic Director of the Year by the MIAA. Finally, we cannot end the section on schools without mentioning the historic 135th Thanksgiving game between Malden and Medford. Head coach Witchy Exelholm directed the Tornadoes to a 35-14 win over rival Medford at the iconic Fenway Park in Boston. This is the blue and gold 7th straight holiday victory, 2 straight for the coach. After winning this once-in-a-lifetime game, I presented Coach Witchy and the team with the key to the city.
This is a good time to hear about some of the other programs offered by the Malden Recreation Department, led by Joe Levine.
The pandemic and the recovery from it have highlighted the need for more recreational activities for all ages. In 2022, the Recreation Department increased programming as compared to the prior year. In addition to the many sports offerings, swimming, hiking, and art classes have been added. New programs were also made available for younger participants in pre-K, thereby allowing us to widen the age range we serve. For adults, we now offer Zumba, yoga, and women's soccer with the successful addition of body sculpting. We are proud to have been able to provide programming to 41% more households, and we are thankful to all the instructors and students from the Mayor's Youth Employment Program who helped make this possible.
Hello, my name is Josephine Royal. We're here at Malden Senior Center for coffee and conversation. And now we'll hear from Mayor Christensen.
This year, the Malden Teen Enrichment Center celebrated its 10th anniversary. For the last decade, MTech has provided a safe environment for Malden teens to spend time with their friends, receive homework assistance, play games, take part in enriching activities, and engage in community service. From cooking classes and camping trips to Habitat for Humanity service days and community events, MTech has offered our youth unforgettable community building experiences. MTech has continued their partnership with the Appalachian Mountain Club by participating in Wilderness First Aid and for the first time taking part in a snowshoeing trip. They also collaborated with Malden High School's Badminton Club to host multiple tournaments for teens of all skill levels. And they continue to teach teens the importance of eating healthy through their cooking classes with Julie Mangan from Nature's Play Professionals. For this spring and summer, programs will include multiple hiking, camping, and canoeing trips. Speaking of programming, the Career Connections Initiative, funded through ARPA, was established to assist adults and young people with job readiness training, career skills, job searches, and referrals to local employers. Led by Coordinator Kashana Harling, the results of the program have been life-changing. Just one example of Kashana's impact came from one of her visits to the Warming Center, where she helped a guest staying there find a job. Today, that person has a home and employment and even volunteers at the center. The Career Services program has also included financial literacy workshops for youth, career panels, civil service career info sessions for both youth and adults, and a building and trades panel. Kashana also directed the Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program and the Year-Round Program, which have employed nearly 300 students at a multitude of work sites throughout the city. These programs include peer tutoring, which has benefited many students. When I congratulated Coach Witchy on his historic win at Fenway Park, he responded that a major reason why they were able to win was due to the peer tutoring program that Kashana had put in place. Moving forward, in collaboration with Senior Center Coordinator Mike Neal Paul, the Career Connections program has launched an employment initiative for our senior residents. This pilot program will run for 6 weeks, and through an application process, our seniors will be employed at various work sites at City Hall and in the surrounding area. Mike Neal is also pleased to report that the Senior Center continues to offer a wide array of daily activities and social opportunities, including exercise and aerobic classes, Tai Chi, strength training, Zumba, and chair yoga, to name a few. This year, the center also welcomed retired art teacher Marianne Seeger to the staff, who is using her talents to offer classes in book design, sketching, and drawing. And last, but certainly not least, we are happy to announce that this summer, by popular demand, we will finally bring back my favorite event, the Mayor's Annual Senior Summer Cookout.
As you may be aware, we are not in Malden Square, although we're not far from it. We are at Forestdale Park, where I now make my residence. What I will be talking about is our famous Malden Square landmark, the Malden Public Library.
The Malden Public Library has become a community hub. Director Dora St. Martin and her staff work to provide a welcoming space with a wide range of programming and activities. In 2022, the library was awarded a prestigious Nasser at My Library grant, the only library in the state to be chosen. This will bring programming to improve science literacy and to inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers. The library also rolled out the red carpet for 60 descendants of the Converse family over a jam-packed 3-day weekend in June. The events were organized and hosted by C. Henry Hank Keyser, the Adelaide Breed Baird Foundation, the trustees of the Malden Public Library, and the Converse Reunion Steering Committee. We welcomed family members and discussed the positive impact that the generosity of the Converse family continues to have on our city. Looking to the future, we are grateful for the generous donations of John Gizo, Michael Nuttall, and John Priottle, which will allow the library to begin the restoration of the Converse Memorial Building's historic upper gardens and lawns. The Converse Gardens were originally designed by famed landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted in collaboration with Henry Hobson Richardson, the building's architect. We are excited to be able to move forward this year as it marks the 200th anniversary of the birth of Frederick Olmsted, who also designed Boston's Emerald Necklace, New York City's Central Park, and Malden's own Fellsmere Park. Finally, our ongoing commitment to the library was evident as part of the fiscal year 2023 budget submission. As a result of targeted increases to library funding, for the first time in recent history, the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners approved the Malden Public Library for full certification in the fiscal year 2023 State Aid to Public Libraries program. This means our library will receive an initial state aid award of approximately $75,000, with further funds to be awarded in the spring. And while on the topic of libraries, thanks to the research of Director Dora St. Martin, we learned that Malden's Revolutionary soldiers included 12 black men, both free and enslaved, who were not listed on the bronze memorial that now exists at the Bell Rock Cemetery. We have been working on correcting this injustice, and this year we will be unveiling a permanent marker at the entrance of the cemetery displaying the names of these soldiers so that they are properly remembered and honored for their service to our country. It is always a privilege for me to personally thank a veteran for their service, and I was honored to represent the city in celebrating the accomplishments of Lieutenant Colonel Enoch Woody Woodhouse. Lieutenant Woodhouse served heroically in the United States Air Force during World War II and earned a Congressional Gold Medal. As a member of the Tuskegee Airmen, he served in America's first all-black combat flying unit and played a pivotal role in the early integration of the United States Armed Forces. Veterans Services Director Kevin Jarvis and I were also honored to recognize our own Fire Commissioner Emery Haskell for his service which was acknowledged by the United States Navy in an award ceremony aboard the USS Constitution. Retired Commander Haskell was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for meritorious achievement while serving as the Rule of Law Coordinator for the Provincial Reconstruction Team in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Hi, I'm Andersa Rose from UMA, and I'm reporting for Neighborhood View, our citizen journalism program. Next, we're going to hear about some of the accomplishments in transportation, what's happening in the engineering department, and what's new in inspectional services.
Our transportation planner, John Alessi, continues to make it safer and easier for all Malden residents to get where they need to go. For example, on Bell Rock Street, working with City Councilor Peg Crow, we implemented a pilot project that has succeeded in calming vehicle speeds, delineating traffic, and creating a more beautiful space in Ward 1. Residents in this neighborhood came together to share their vision for this intersection, give input on the design, and help paint the floral drawings. In planning for the future, Malden's Transit Action Plan is nearing completion. The plan consists of a community-based vision for Malden's multimodal transportation network that will be used to determine how the city prioritizes investments in public transit over the next 10 to 15 years. Its goals are to identify barriers and challenges to accessing transit, develop solutions to make transit more attractive and easy to use, and map out steps to implement identified solutions. The plan will be completed and available on the city's website this spring. We are also exploring ways to slow vehicle speeds with new traffic calming projects, including the use of raised intersections. The city hopes to use multiple data sources like high crash locations, speeding reports, and community feedback to develop a prioritization plan for potential project locations. More details regarding this effort will be shared in the coming months. A main priority moving into the new year continues to be our water system and the elimination of lead lines. This past year, working together, the Engineering Department, the Department of Public Works, and the Water Department replaced 286 lead water service lines, 4,800 feet of water mains, completed 35,000 feet of sewer cleaning and lining, and repaved 38 streets. Through this coordinated effort, we also worked on finding ways to improve our lead line replacement program. In 2023, we will be implementing a new system of prioritization. Remediation efforts will be prioritized based on which existing lead lines serve the greatest density of households with young children. This vulnerability-based approach received national recognition when Malden's proposal was one of 10 municipalities nationwide honored with a project award by the Center for Digital Government. This initiative was made possible thanks to City Councilor Steve Winslow and Conservation Commission Chair Isaac Slavitt. The Engineering Department, led by Yam Lip, is also working with the Treasurer's Department to implement new water usage monitoring software. Beginning later this year, residents will be able to monitor their water usage and access real-time data that can help detect possible leaks faster. The software will be available on Android and iOS platforms so that keeping track of water usage can happen right from your phone. In addition to assisting with the water work, engineering has been actively replacing several traffic signals at intersections across the city. Also, working with the Office of Strategic Planning and Community Development, we secured a $127,000 grant from Mass DOT's Shared Streets and Spaces program. This grant will allow us to replace antiquated school safety equipment, improve city communications, and collect speed data. The plan is to install 2 new flashing school zone signs at the Beebe School and 5 at the Ferryway School. The team in inspectional services, led by Building Commissioner Nelson Miller, has also been proactive in working hard to improve customer service. The transition of all permitting, inspection, and record-keeping activities to a publicly accessible web-based system has been instrumental in streamlining the oversight of the approximately 4,000 permits processed on an annual basis. On top of that, Commissioner Miller personally managed efforts to ensure that the facades on older buildings across the city were reviewed to prevent what happened at the corner of Salem and Mount Vernon Street in 2021. A visual inspection of over 50 buildings was conducted, of which 13 were examined by an engineer and orders issued, ranging from minor repairs to complete demolition. In 2023, we will adopt higher energy efficiency standards for new and existing buildings. These new standards are designed to help us reach net zero carbon emissions by 2050 by making our buildings more energy efficient. Once this plan is approved by the City Council, our team will work with builders and property owners to implement and enforce these new standards. We are here at one of our local businesses trying out a new, impactful way of meeting our constituents right where they are. Hi, can I help you?
Hi, we're here for Mayor Christensen's office hours. Yep, that's me. But I don't see you.
That's the point.
Okay, well, we had a couple of questions about our trash pickup on our street.
So just drive up around the corner, dumpsters on the right. Have a great day. Hi, how are ya?
I was wondering if we can get some more swings at the park near my house.
How about a few munchkins instead?
Yay!
There you go. Good morning, can I help you?
Hi, I'm a small business owner. I own a pet store here in Malden. I was wondering if we could talk about getting some more pet-friendly spaces around the city.
No dog treats on the menu. Drive up, please.
So how did I do? Well, it was great having you here today. I have a little advice. Don't quit your day job.
Other projects and initiatives are underway as well as we work to make Malden more resilient to the impacts of climate change. We are working hard to make older buildings that don't fall under the new Net Zero Code more energy efficient by increasing the use of renewable energy sources in our community. In 2022, we worked with the Energy Efficiency and Sustainability Committee, chaired by City Councilor Kerry McDonald, to create Malden Community Electricity. This program will allow the city to leverage the combined purchasing power of all our residents to secure new and potentially cheaper electricity rates and more renewable energy. With this new initiative, we can get new, lower rates with a lot more flexibility. Malden Community Electricity will launch as soon as it receives state approval, which we hope will be this coming fall. Once again, we were designated a green community by the Mass Department of Energy Resources. Since 2017, Malden has received over $500,000 in Green Communities grants, allowing the city to significantly conserve energy, save money, and reduce its carbon emissions. Public Facilities Director Eric Rubin focused this year's grant funds on electrifying the city vehicle fleet and in the heating and cooling of our municipal buildings. But we know that every city department has a role to play. That's why we launched Green Malden, our all-of-government, all-hands-on-deck approach to combating climate change. This internal group of department heads and staff work together to help our city create and meet aggressive climate goals. Last year, we started work on Malden's first climate action plan, which will set our climate goals, identify specific steps we need to take to achieve them, and help protect our residents from the increased heat and flooding that they will see in the coming decades. We have formed a steering committee to guide our efforts and to ensure that our environmental justice communities will play a big role in climate planning. I encourage each of you to participate in the planning process this year. We couldn't wait for the Climate Action Plan to be complete before starting to plant new trees, which help keep residents cool in the summer, as well as provide many other health benefits. This year, we appointed a new tree warden, Chris Rosa, who has been proactive in enforcing tree protection protocols during street utility work, creating a new vegetation management plan with National Grid, discovering and managing emerald ash borer, and utilizing porous flexible pavement to help save trees. He is also working with the Department of Conservation and Recreation's Urban and Community Forestry Program to implement the Greening of the Gateway Cities initiative. This program will plant 2,400 trees over a 3-year period, mostly on private properties, in some of the hottest parts of our city. Malden also joined the Mass Save program, providing residents and businesses with the opportunity to get a no-cost home energy assessment to help them find ways to save energy and money. Mass Save offers significant rebates on energy-saving improvements like weatherization, energy-efficient appliances, as well as heating and cooling systems. They can also provide some energy and water-saving devices for free. Residents can sign up for the assessment by calling the Malden Office of Strategic Planning and Community Development. Finally, everything wasn't green in 2022 as Malden introduced Blue Bikes to 3 locations in the downtown area. Blue Bikes are a fun, affordable, and convenient mode of transportation. We are also using APA funds to offer a limited number of free 1-month memberships to Malden residents. Passes are limited and will be provided on a first-come, first-served basis. And to further support biking in Malden's downtown, we added 39 new bike racks. And while on the topic of bikes, Bike to the Sea, in partnership with Councilor Steve Winslow and Peg Crow, will be installing what is known as a bike kitchen along the bike path on Canal Street. This will be an affordable and convenient bicycle repair shop staffed by experienced volunteers. Funding for the project is through the Recycling Dividends program offered by Mass DEP. We are grateful to local businesses Hoff's Bakery and to attorneys Jordan Shapiro and Danielle Hender for their work related to securing the land, as well as National Grid for their help with the conduit work. We continue to work on improving our communication strategies. Most recently, we upgraded our emergency communications platform, Malden Alerts, to a new system that includes multilingual communications. Residents can now receive important notifications in their chosen native language. We are also planning for the redesign of our city website, where we will be adding a new look while also aiming to be more accommodating to both language access and accessibility options. Effective communication is essential in a diverse city like Malden. This year, thanks to our new language access coordinator, Elena Martinez, we are developing strategies to eliminate language barriers across the city. From establishing our first ever City Hall Constituent Services multilingual line, to training departments and equipping them with translation devices, to building a citywide language ambassador program, Elena has moved us toward a more accessible and inclusive community.
From Urban Media Arts, it's The Director's View with Tina Lagarde.
Reporting from City Hall, my name is Tina Lagarde. I'm the Executive Director of Urban Media Arts, otherwise known as UMA. We are a creative, collaborative, community media center who are also the stewards of the City of Malden's public, educational, and government channels. And today we'll be chatting about the redevelopment of the former Malden Hospital, as well as other projects in the works.
I was pleased to work with City Councilor Amanda Linehan and our state delegation to achieve the long-standing goal of addressing the vacant Malden Hospital site. This year, we announced that the site would be redeveloped into a behavioral health hospital which was met with excitement across the community. Tufts Medicine and Acadia Healthcare formed a joint venture to build a health facility focused on behavioral health inpatient and outpatient care. In addition, the inclusion of public open space as part of the proposal was welcomed and responsive to feedback from the community. About 6.7 acres of land will be set aside and become the property of the City of Malden. We will own it, use it, and maintain the area just like other open space in the city. We are working with Tufts Medicine on the acquisition and logistics to secure the public land. In addition, the 6.7 acres is made up of about 2/3 wooded, hilly land that might be most appropriate to provide walking trails and connectivity to Fellsmere Pond. The other approximately 1/3 is sufficiently flat to allow for the creation of additional passive recreation space that fits the community's needs. Developing the concepts for the desired use of the flat area, walking trails, and connectivity to Fellsmere Pond will be a community-led effort. On the riverfront, the Malden Riverworks project continues to move forward on the design of a park that will improve the climate resiliency of the DPW and improve public access to the Malden River. In addition to a municipal vulnerability preparedness grant from the state, our federal delegation secured a $1.3 million earmark to get us started on construction, which is expected to begin in early 2024. This year, the Malden Riverworks Steering Committee partnered with Malden Reeds, Friends of the Malden River, and the Mystic River Watershed Association to bring words on the water in celebration of the 2022 Malden Reeds book selection in American Sunrise by former U.S. Poet Laureate Joy Harjo. Project Mystic was part of the day-long event and brought visibility to the work of BIPOC artists through music and dance. Also featured was Andre Strong Beerhart Gaines, a citizen of the Nipmuc people, who not only shared stories of history and traditions, but also led the community in a ceremony blessing the river. Our hope is to continue the relationship with Andre so that we can work together to bring other events focused on Indigenous history and communities. Also in the works, with the support of City Councilor Chris Simonelli, we have been able to secure $2.2 million to improve the playground and the ball field at Kierstead Park, including $400,000 in much-needed funding from our Community Preservation Committee. And thanks to the advocacy of the Disability Commission, led by Chair Marilyn Andrews, we are about to embark on a $900,000 renovation to the playground at the Early Learning Center. Both new playgrounds will be fully accessible, including play pieces that can be used by young people using wheelchairs and other mobility aids.
UMA celebrates the arts in Malden and plays an important role in bringing artists and cultural groups together. Let's go over to Mayor Christensen and check out what's happening in the Malden art scene.
Malden Arts continues to transform areas of our community into creative works of art. This year, they organized dedications around the city to premiere some of their projects. First, they unveiled a mural installed along the bike path created by award-winning cartoonist Keith Knight. Keith, born and raised in Malden, is well known for using his unique style and artistic talent to address political, social, and racial issues. The mural is a Malden-centric take on his popular comic series, Life's Little Victories. Another dedication was the unveiling of the Malden COVID Memorial Park, a pocket park and mural that includes 2 sculptures, a fish and a wave, 2 benches, and a mural of poetry and art from local residents. Led by former City Councilor Debbie DeMaria, the memorial honors both those who lost their lives to COVID and those who helped residents through the pandemic. The third project featured photos of the amazing diversity of cyclists taken by local photographer Susie Ecker. The display is located on the Malden Spring Building at 93 Maplewood Street and was so impressive that we're already working with Susie to expand this work. We have been so inspired by the work of Malden artists that we now feature local art at City Hall. Thank you to the gallery at 57 Pleasant for partnering with us on this initiative. Our second floor has been brought to life with the mural Malden Streets by Grace Julian Murphy, which included 8 images of Malden created by other local artists and 3 oil paintings by artist Rosine Wine that each tell a story about a local Malden site. New to the scene in 2022 was Malden's first ever Porch Fest. Thanks to the hard work of a team of volunteers led by resident Yin Kiefer, this celebration of music and community brought performances to porches all over the city. Porch Fest 2023 is on for June 10th. Stay tuned for details. Finally, we continue to move forward on transforming the former Malden Courthouse into a center for arts and culture. Working with City Councilor Amanda Linehan and our city planning staff, a diverse steering committee made up of local artists and cultural leaders developed a concept plan for the building's future with our partners at the Metropolitan Area Planning Council and the Boston Society for Architecture. The plan envisions a dynamic, multifunctional, collaborative space that will serve as a hub for community gathering, arts education, and cultural programming. It will include flexible spaces that can host classes and workshops for all ages, studio time, events, live performances, and more. The long-term plan is for the city to own the center and contract with an experienced arts nonprofit to run it on a day-to-day basis.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Chamber Showcase. My name is Joan Ford Monjo. I'm the Executive Director of the Malden Chamber of Commerce, and I will be your host today. I am joined by Kevin Duffy, the Business Development Officer for the city, and we're going to talk about one of our favorite topics, which is the business community in Malden. Later, we'll be hearing from Mayor Gary Christensen. At this point, I'd like to welcome Kevin.
Thank you for having me, Joan. Malden had a great year last year welcoming many new businesses, but the ribbon cutting that got everyone most excited was when John and Carrie Floramo, longtime Maldonians, moved their landmark restaurant, Floramo's, to our city. Along with them, we had many other ribbon cuttings, as you'll see.
For the second year in a row, Malden held multiple artist festivals that not only celebrated our local artists, but also encouraged residents to visit our businesses, get outside, and stay engaged. By holding these festivals in the downtown, Maplewood Square, and Summer Street, they continue to help our businesses recover after COVID with all the increased foot traffic these events bring. In total, Malden has held 14 festivals in the last 2 years, but it was the tastiest one that had nearly 10,000 people lining up to come to Malden Center, the Phantom Gourmet Food Festival. Last June, the most delicious party was held in downtown Malden, and what a feast it was, as restaurants from all over, including several from right here in our city, came together to offer their specialties. Of course, yours truly went straight for the ice cream. When the council and I embarked on getting Malden certified as a bio-ready community, we did not anticipate being awarded a platinum rating in just a few short years. And now, with the highest rating possible from the Mass Biotech Council, we are starting to see significant growth in the life sciences sector. The arrivals of companies such as Discovery Life Sciences and Outer Bio, we expect even more to follow their lead and bring hundreds of jobs to Malden in the years to come. Malden's economic development is supported by a strong Chamber of Commerce.
We are grateful to the Chamber for being such a great partner and for the years of hosting the State of the City address. With their help, we continue to make Malden an attractive place for people to open and operate their businesses. Thank you to Executive Director Joan Ford Mongeau, Board President Johnny Long from East Cambridge Savings Bank, and all members of the board for their tireless work to assist, promote, and advocate for Malden businesses.
While many things are changing and transforming, the one thing that remains constant in Malden is that we continue to be a place that is welcoming, engaged, connected, and where people care for one another. Our future is strong, and our strength as a community shows in everything we do. This wraps up the show. I want to thank the Malden High School Band and UMA for their partnership and for all their work in keeping our community connected. I also want to personally thank my staff, our city department heads, and all of our employees. It is their energy and commitment to our city that keeps us moving forward. The state of our city, Malden is strong, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. You're great. You're great. Jenny, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Good job.